What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of PPP. This is the Pigskin Posse Podcast, the football segment of our group podcast, Taking Shots. And we got a very, very special guest today. 2007 all-conference running back from Ritenour High School. My man and the motherfucker that's causing me to wear this hat today, Derrick Valley. Derrick, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What's going on, my dude? What's going on? I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, man, we appreciate you taking your time out to join us on the show, man. You've been a requested guest, as if I should say.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Look, shout out to the requesters. I appreciate that as well.
Yep. And I want to, before we get off into it, I want to give Derrick his props because when as a freshman, I didn't know Derrick personally whenever I first came to Ritenour, and all I saw was a little short, buff motherfucker. I didn't know he was the starting running back. I didn't know he was the starting running back on the team, and he was able to do what he did. So I just want to throw that out there. Like you definitely was the fucking man in high school. I gotta give you that one. Man.
I appreciate that.
You're more than welcome, brother.
It was like Darren Sproles, Tyreek Hill. I remember that 08 season. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, 'cause everything would be bad, but then it would just be like one special play, and then he just crib it. I'm like, who in the world? Who is this? Who is this? No, I'm like, overdrive. Boom. I'm like,
definitely was one of the main reasons asses were getting put in seats, as they say, for a few years.
You can definitely say that one for sure. Another thing I gotta give Derrick props for. He was never afraid to be himself. Whether he was on the football field, in school, he was always Derrick. And like I didn't get to know him until after I graduated. After I graduated high school, we got to having talks or whatever. And that he was a cool ass dude, man. He was definitely a cool ass dude. I hate that I didn't really get the chance to know him until after high school. So, but hey, better late than never, right?
Right. All right,
so let's go ahead and jump off into some stats, man. Of course, first team all conference 2007, 2004-2005 season. As a freshman on varsity, 5 carries for 82 yards.
That was one game.
2005.
That was one game. I just want to put that out there. That was one game.
Hey, but for them 5, you made them 5 carries count though.
That's all I'm saying.
He said enough said. Sophomore year, the 2005-2006 campaign, 101 carries for 521 yards. The 2006-2007 season, junior year, 155 carries for 705 yards. And 2007, he got that 2007-2008 season. He ended up getting that thou wow, 184 carries for, I think 1,004 yards. I might have marked that wrong. For 11 touchdowns and 11 catches and 85 yards.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I told you he was that guy, man.
Bro put up almost 3,000 career yards. That motherfucker, man.
Yeah, especially in the type of system that we ran.
I never thought about that. I ain't gonna lie. I never added up all the years that I played, like the stats, and looked at the body of work like for what it is like that. But you're definitely right.
Well, shit, hey, this definitely the time to reflect. You on the Pigskin Posse podcast, bro.
Right. It's time.
Yes, sir.
We talk football on this. We talk football on this one,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Look, we can't look. I'm all about the details, so it's just all about how in depth you want to go, because. When just listening to you talk about this stuff, I can remember every one of those years. Like, and I didn't even think I would. Like, I was trying to try to remember stuff, but I was like, I don't know what to try to pull from out the ether, out the blank. But just listening to you mention that, I can remember that one game where I got those 5 carries and bust out that 82 yards. And I think it was more than 82 yards, but you know how I get marked when it end up on STL today, however it go. But you know what I'm saying? From what I remember, it was 5 carries for 110 yards. But it ended up being 82 yards when it came up on the board. So I'm like, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It still was, those who witnessed it, they seen me,
Still got busy.
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? That was definitely my coming out, you know what I'm saying? And I can remember vividly that day. You know what I'm saying? Like standing out there in the cold. Mind you, I'm a freshman, but they, dressing me for varsity,
Right.
game after game, game after game. So I'm playing for the freshman team. I'm playing on JV, and I'm dressing for every varsity game. But I'm not playing in none of the varsity games. But I'm standing out here in the cold, and I'm like telling my cousin, "Man, listen, man, this is about the last game. I'm finna be out here if they ain't never gonna let me try to even get me in on special teams or nothing." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm out here cold as a mug. You know what I'm saying? And within 30 seconds of me saying that, they called my name and threw me in the game. And cats was getting nowhere. They ran a little 30 trap up the middle plate. Boom, boom. I done broke out for about 30, 40 yards. Had another couple run or two, so they pulled me out. I ain't gonna say no names. Young man turned to me and said, "Man, I couldn't get nowhere. How's you getting through there?" I don't know, bro. But I can remember that day vividly, though. You know what I'm saying? But that's definitely a memory that stick out for sure. Once you bring that back up, for sure.
I mean, hey, five carry for one game, 5 carries, 82 yards as a freshman on varsity. I definitely think that speaks for itself. I really don't think we got to get too in depth with that.
No, for sure. Definitely.
So,
Hey,
so what was your was that your most memorable moment in high school, or what would you recall as your most memorable game, or your favorite play that you can remember from high school?
I can. Okay.
Because you had a lot of them.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna say probably my most memorable play is, I want to say it was my junior year. We was playing Riverview, and I got tackled in a way my cleat stayed in the ground, and I got like a high ankle sprain. My ankle twisted up real bad, and I can barely walk. You know what I'm saying? I come off the field, tape it up. You know what I'm saying? Get back on the field, get the ball. I break out. I come through the hole clean, run a linebacker straight over, boom, lay him down. Bounce out to the left a little bit and go on down the field for probably about 50, 60 yards and end up, getting tackled like close to the goal line, but end up scoring the game-winning touchdown at the, like, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the game, and we win the game. Mm-hmm. But it's like the next day I couldn't walk. Like, as far as I can remember, I had to be helped to get to the bus through the parking lot, you know what I'm saying, because my ankle was like, I'm talking about messed up purple streaks through my ankle, you know what I'm saying? And but that stick out to me because it's like I don't even know how I was able to stand up based on how I felt when it first happened, going to the sideline, getting taped up, coming back into the game, getting that adrenaline rush, and that particular play, you know what I'm saying? That's probably one of the most memorable plays for sure.
Well, but, I mean, it was kind of hard to tackle you to begin with anyway, because you had such a low center of gravity, and for you to be the size that you was a cocky ass dude,
and really being just measured a short person already. I ran low to the ground, like lower to the ground than normal. You know what I'm saying? That's just the style of the way I ran. So yeah, it was definitely a tough challenge trying to get me to the ground.
For sure. And I want to give a shout out to the offensive line of 2008. I don't remember all of them, but that class of 2008 offensive line, y'all had some boys. I remember Quentin. I still talk to Quentin every so often. I think Big Tevin, wasn't he on the offensive line that year?
I'm not sure if Tevin was on our line. I think he might have been still an underclassman to where he wasn't on our offensive line quite yet. But if I can remember, hold on, let me think. You know what I'm saying? Quentin Reed might have been on our line. I believe he was. I can remember Steve Weist, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Adam Wilhite. Phil Dianoff, that was our center. Phil Cordia. And I want to say David Mack. That was my offensive line my senior year. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, And shout out to my boy Quentin Reed.
Right. Q,
When
big Q.
Big Q was not the same Big Q that he is now when we was in high school. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I
So,
know.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and probably our smallest offensive line was Steve, and he was probably our strongest offensive line because he was just a gym junkie. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, him and Adam was probably about like the only guys that were kind of the size of offensive linemen. Like, and Quentin, of course. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, man, like it was rough out there. You know what I'm saying? But them boys was holding it down for sure because hey, they believed in your boy. You know what I'm saying? So they knew I was out there giving it my all. They was doing the same thing. At least that's my understanding. You know what I'm saying?
In the trenches.
No, for sure.
I just remember as a freshman because I played freshman ball. I didn't play any of the other 3 years, but I remember coming in as a freshman. I didn't understand. Like I was telling Ryan this, I didn't understand how varsity, JV, and all that shit worked. So I'm coming in as a freshman, and the first day of school, I walk out to the field and I'm looking. I'm like, I gotta block these big motherfuckers. I didn't know. Before I understood all that worked, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared because them was some big boys, man. Them was some big boys.
So definitely. Now look, imagine what college was like.
Hey, I got a quick question for you though, bro.
What's up?
Like before you had that crazy season your senior year, like did you do anything different in the off season, like type shit? Did you got more sleep or something? Like was it something different that you hadn't done the previous years?
Yes, I stayed healthy relatively. I played all the games, and I played the majority of all the games. That was the only thing that was different. That was it. Like all those other seasons, I didn't play all the games, or I got hurt, or something else got in the way of me being able to play all the games in totality. So that was the only thing that was different.
Okay, for sure. I mean, yeah, man, going up there, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that though.
Yeah.
Most definitely. What team did you enjoy playing the most in high school? Like that you always felt like when you saw them on the schedule, you like, man, I'm a game plan, but I don't really see much I need to do different.
You mean like a team like I knew we was gonna like a stack day, like we was gonna go out there and just run it up on them?
Yeah,
type of
pretty
thing?
much.
Man, listen, man, listen, we didn't have many of those, honestly.
Sliders
bro.
up. Who all was in y'all conference? Was it still including?
Yeah, it was still.
Hazelwood, Central,
Yeah, it was still the gauntlet. And I watched the podcast with you know what I'm saying, B, and y'all said it was one of the toughest conferences in St. Louis. No, one of the toughest conferences in the state of Missouri, unquestionably. You know what I'm saying? Especially at that point in time. This when East, McClure, North, and Central was taking turns going to state. You know what I'm saying? And it was really like that for real. But man, I honestly, bro, like I liked to play against dogs, honestly, more than anything. Like I didn't really too much get off on playing the quote unquote the scrub teams, you know what I'm saying, like that. It was more so I wanted to go against the people that everybody was talking about. You know what I'm saying? People like Lamarck Brown in my day, like when I was an underclassman, you know, freshman, sophomore, junior year. Lamarck Brown was the dude that was 6'5" and everybody just knew he was going to the league. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to play against Lamarck Brown, do him up, run him over. You know what I'm saying? And let everybody be like, what? Who was that dude? You know what I'm saying? What was he? How did he just do Lamarck Brown like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was, you know, some more so how I you know, interpreted things. I look forward to playing Hazelwood Central probably more than anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what reason. I always had incredible games playing against Hazelwood Central. Like, I don't know what it was about them. I don't care if they went to state that year. Yeah, like, I always bought out when we played them, dude. So, like, I looked forward to playing them. I look forward to playing, like, my teammates that, you know, I came up in like, Little League, JFL playing with. They went to the Hazelwood Centrals and the McClure Norths and the Hazelwood East and stuff like that. So, I used to enjoy playing against those guys for sure.
Now, 2014, 2015, I had to go and look that up because I wasn't sure what year it was. They redid the conferences, and we played a completely different set of schools.
Yeah.
It had to have been after 14.
It
had to be.
It was the year they started. It was 2014. So it was the class of 2015 pretty much when they redid the conferences. My question to you is, do you feel like if you guys would have had the opportunity to play in the revamped conferences, would you guys have had better success? Do you feel like you would have better success?
As far as record, like wins and losses, for sure, because we wouldn't be playing Division I opponents every week. When we played against Hazelwood Central in 2006, 2007, we played against Hazelwood Central, Hazelwood East, McClure North. We playing Division I opponents. These dudes all going D1. They got defensive linemen and skill players that's going D1. And y'all know those are the most important people on the team when it comes to really determining the actual prominence of the actual team. Like, these dudes got D linemen going D1, they got receivers going D1. Like, it's kind of hard to keep up with these dudes, you know what I'm saying? But that's what we playing against every week. Not one team, not one game, every week. So if we was playing against, I guess, what would be deemed lesser talented teams, yes, we would have definitely had more success because we had some real good talent on our teams, especially our skill players, and we didn't really have the big boys to really be able to compete with some of the other schools, but you know what I'm saying, we had heart. That's for sure. But if we was playing in those other conferences, we'd have definitely had more success. I know I'd have been running it up for sure.
Yeah, because they, if I can remember, I think a couple years, I'm not gonna say a few years later, they also the coach actually switched the offense. I think they started running the pistol offense. And from what all the backs that y'all had, I definitely feel like that offense probably would have. I'm not taking away from anything that y'all did, but I definitely feel like that type of offense would have fit y'all a lot better. Because AJ
actually, I don't know what they did the year I left the school, but the year in between our junior and senior, Coach Gregory, Coach Sheldon, Coach Patton, and staff went down to some program in Texas. I don't remember if it was a college or another high school, and basically studied their offense and like started to transition it into our offense. So we started running the pistol offense my senior year. It was a version of the pistol. It was like a hybrid version of what we was doing traditionally and the pistol offense, to where it used to be a weird situation based on my alignment, playing the position I was playing. A lot of times I would have to run backwards 3 and 4 yards to get the ball, then run to the line. So I used to always joke that I've rushed for 3,000 yards this year. You know what I'm saying? Because based on how we got this set up, like before I could even get out the backfield, I'd have ran for 10 yards already. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they I don't know when they started to transition it in totality, but we definitely was running the pistol offense or a version of it my senior year in high school for sure.
Now, this is no disrespect to the teams before then or whatever, but was it frustrating to feel like you were having a season that you were having, and it just wasn't reflecting it wasn't reflecting on on you guys' record?
Come on, man. Of course, man. Like, and I would assume you talking about like my senior year right now, but like not even just my senior year, man. Like every year, anytime I'm having a good game, anytime anybody's having success, and it's not translating into wins. Like, bro, I'm crushed. I'm so passionate about the things that I love. You know what I'm saying? And playing football was one of the things I love more than anything, and I would be crushed, bro. It was many games to where I had 160, 70 yards, 2-3 touchdowns. We lose, and I'm crying. I can't help but to be
that's heartbreaking.
Tears running down my face as we slapping fives with the other team. Coaches from the other side telling me to keep my head up. You have nothing to hold your head down about, but it don't matter what I do. Ultimately, if we're not winning as a program, because ain't nobody giving us no looks if we ain't getting no W's. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I definitely felt for a lot of the guys on the team because I'm gonna put this out there now. Up until I talked, after a year after I graduated, I talked to Derrick, and I was one of those people that these they thought they was good in high school. Where they at now? It wasn't it wasn't until I talked to Derrick and he let me know what really goes on behind the scenes that I understood why a lot of guys either didn't play after high school or they just didn't. They didn't want to either. They didn't want to play, or they didn't get to go to a bigger program. Of which we're gonna get on. We gonna get into that a little later on in the episode. So it's coming. But I just want to say, most the guys that was on those teams, the AJ Ships and the Gary Gandys and LaDonte, like all those guys. Like I remember all those guys. I actually used to come to the games to watch football. I wasn't there to hang out. I was a fan of the game. So I would actually come to, no matter who we played, no matter what everybody else was saying, I was actually coming to watch the games. So I remember a lot of guys from those teams, man.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to all those fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I know because I've been going to Renegades since probably about 07, and that was you. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this dude?
There's the man in the flesh right here.
I'm like, man, I know he getting out of here. I know when this done, he going somewhere. He going somewhere.
That's the same way I felt.
Nah, for sure, man. And look, I did, you know what I'm saying? I can't say I didn't. I definitely did. You know what I'm saying? I played college ball for sure. You know what I'm saying? Something that a lot of people didn't get to do at all. So, I'm thankful I can reflect back on, you know what I'm saying, traveling, you know what I'm saying, on the road, you know what I'm saying, with my college, you know what I'm saying, in the you know what I'm saying, the way we went about our business, you know what I'm saying, and doing them cats in just like anybody else, you know what I'm saying, and being able to reflect back on that, you know what I'm saying. So like still got cats hitting me up to this day, you know what I'm saying, just tapping in, you know what I'm saying, reflecting like, man, you was the man, so.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and reflect on that, man. So what school, when you were going through the process, what schools were you looking at, and what schools wanted you? What schools were like heavily recruiting you?
Well, heavily recruiting. That's a interesting question, like, because sometimes I was being heavily recruited by teams that I didn't really know that, because they were recruiting me through the school, you know what I'm saying, or at least communicating with me through the school. But one of the schools that was recruiting me the most was Lincoln University, which is a couple of my teammates out of my class ended up going to. Which I heard be mentioned on your last show, Stanford, very interested in me, which they offered me a partial academic scholarship and a partial athletic scholarship pending I was able to come there and do a workout, which I did not do, you know what I'm saying? So that was an opportunity that I never was able to realize. Western Illinois was another school that was very interested and consider me for a visit, which I never went on the visit to that particular school. I had a slew of NAIA schools, Division III schools, you know what I'm saying, giving me interest letters and calling me. I never forget a school called my phone, Western Kentucky, called my phone while I was walking down the street, just going to a friend's house one day, called my personal cell phone, and I still don't know to this day how them people got my phone number, but explained to me they had spoke to my coach and they was trying to get some film on me, but kind of seemed like folks was dragging their feet, so they was trying to come direct, pretty much what the conversation was. But those are the schools that I actually remember talking to people, having conversations with, that reached out to me. But schools that I reached out to were schools like Lindenwood, which surprisingly never really showed me no interest in. I always wanted to go to that school since I was a little kid because I played on their field when I was a little kid, and I just always wanted to go there for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Which is amazing that fast forward all these years, they become a FCS school, which is all what I basically was wanting then and wanting them to recruit me. But like, well, that's another story. You know what I'm saying? And I had other schools, like the school I eventually ended up going to, that I reached out to and inquired about for different particular reasons, not just because they were interested in me, but because I had interest in other, influences for me to want to go to those schools. So once I knew that they were interested, which they were a Division III school, which they didn't really think I was going to come there. So they was giving me offers or giving me interest letters, but not really, communicating like I really was going to come there. But once I picked up the phone and started kind of calling them back, they kind of was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, well, let's set up a visit, And eventually that's where I ended up going, a school in Chicago called North Park University. But before that, it was, like I said, the schools that actually showed me interest and gave me, like, real consideration were, like, Western Kentucky, Lincoln, Stanford, Western Illinois. Which Western Illinois, I really wanted to go there, but they never gave me an offer. Shout out to those guys though, but they never gave me like a real offer, like we want you to come here and here's the money. But you know how they go. They all want you to come to their school and poke at you and prod at you a little bit, before they really sometimes give you a little consideration, depending on what your situation is coming out of high school. Some folks, they get coach in the living room. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. Hey, I really want your son. I did not have that experience, but I definitely had a slew of schools clamoring, giving me interest and giving me interest letters every week, every day. And the ones I mentioned actually kind of reaching out and giving me a little bit more than the others for sure. So those are the ones that stick out. But ultimately, I didn't go to any of those guys.
Did you ever have like a favorite play where you knew you was gonna score on? Like every time they called that, oh yeah, that's a touchdown. Give me that. I had a couple.
I'm gonna say if it was blocked properly, the trap play, I'm scoring on it, because the way a trap play is blocked, it's the most brilliant scheme in football to me. You know what I'm saying? And I still to this day watch it real closely and try to just, I don't know, I guess appreciate the art that is a trap block. You know what I'm saying? Because when offensive linemen do a trap block properly, it's unguardable. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what's happening out, you know what I'm saying, in the secondary, you probably gonna score a touchdown. So I would love to get that quick play right up the middle and take it to the house. You know what I'm saying? And I have many many touchdowns off of that one little play up the middle for sure. So if it ain't a screenplay, just because I like doing screenplays, I always did trap play right up the middle for sure.
I'm kind of glad you touched on that, because I had always asked you, have you ever thought about coaching? Because, bro, you have your football knowledge is very extensive, and every time I talk to you about what you see on what you see during a Rams game or a Steelers game or something, you can break you can break a play down from 3 different point of views. So it's I'm always wondering, have you ever thought about coaching or reached out to somebody
right,
to try to join the coaching staff?
Look, I'm gonna say. First, that's what I thought when you first reached out, asked me to be on the podcast. That's what I thought we was talking about going into the beginning of the season. You said, no, I want to talk about you. I said, what? Right. But, yeah, man, I did coach a couple years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I coached my younger cousins because they pretty much was some juvenile delinquents, and I had to find something for them to do constructive. And I put them on a football team, but seriously, it was understaffed, so I joined the coaching staff to make sure that they would show up every day and be taught properly or the game. But honestly, man, I would like to, but I'm a person that's got a hard time joining something that I don't fully believe in. So if I don't believe in the program, the direction y'all going, the energy that's surrounding it, I don't necessarily want to join the coach like a program and like pick up a team unless I'm going to get full reign of my particular team in the organization I create within the organization. I would prefer to create my own organization if I was to do something like that. But if I'm being completely honest, my biggest problem with potentially coaching, and I'm thinking like baby steps. I'm not thinking like coaching high school right now, nothing like that. I'm thinking like coaching little league to get my understanding of how I would even operate as a coach, and even thinking about stepping up from there. Too many games are played on Sundays.
Fair enough. I think we all
I'm
can
like,
agree on that one.
how are these kids gonna learn how to play the game if they can't ever watch the professionals? They busy playing. Like, they need to be playing on Thursdays. It's little kids, man. The game could be at 4:30, 5 o'clock. The game only lasts 45 minutes. We going home after this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just like, man, that's my only real hang up, man. I promise you. Like, if I'm being completely honest, that's my biggest hang up. If Little League football was played on Friday nights, I'd be a coach already.
Yeah, bro. Cause it's like, come on, man. Saturday and Sunday, sometimes Monday.
Man,
come on, bro. Then Thursday.
Man, listen. It's
like this the time that they should be watching, right? Like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, especially right. Saturdays and Sundays, because you got the guys at the next level, the college guys, and then you have the pros.
Right.
You have you want to tell those kids that play certain positions, like, hey, the whole entire time, this is the guy that you need to be watching. Watch everything that he does.
And I can say I coached a whole team full of 13 and 14-year-olds who did not watch the game of football. And I'm asking these kids, well, who y'all out here mimicking? Who y'all out here pretending to be? You know what I'm saying? Like,
these. I think that go without saying.
You gotta talk to, like, I don't know, them kids are always playing them cold ass leagues. Them the ones that's watching.
Yeah.
Now the whole goal with this podcast, I'm sure you heard in the last podcast, and I've been very adamant about it on social media, is recruiting in St. Louis, because if you notice, a lot of recruits that come out, they go to Georgia, they come from Georgia, Florida, Texas, California, mostly the southern states, and I feel like in Missouri, especially St. Louis, there's a lot of talent out here, but not a lot of the big recruiters come here unless you go to a private school, which is, it's no disrespect to the private schools. But what do you think St. Louis public schools or just the city of St. Louis can do themselves to bring more exposure to their athletes?
And I'm gonna say, when I was growing up, for sure, that was definitely the case, because all the bigger schools that I got real looks from, they were recruiting other kids that we was playing against and saw me playing against them when we were playing against SLU and Chaminade and Vianney and schools like this. So that's definitely true. At least it was for sure a lot back then. But I think the biggest thing, bro, is relationships, man. And I seen it back then. The relationships my high school coaches had with college coaches were guys just like them, look just like them, sound like them, talk like them, think like them. And they didn't have relationships with a lot of other people outside of, the people that they were, I guess, familiar with or, could relate to. So I felt like that was the biggest thing that kind of like held us back and hurt us, because the guys who were from programs that they didn't have ongoing relationships with or history with, who were reaching out to them, they couldn't get through. But I can remember Missouri Valley. They were friends with that coaching staff. Those guys were showing up to the school to talk to us. You know what I'm saying? So I forgot to mention those guys. Shout out to Missouri Valley. But yeah, those guys were allowed to come into the building and have actual in the building meetings with us during trying to recruit us. But it's establish relationships and be open to establishing relationships on behalf of your players, because ultimately, I feel like the players that you produce you know what I'm saying, raise the profile of your program. So that raises your profile as a coach. So why would you impede that? I don't even understand. Like, you are potentially killing a career that you don't even know that you have, because this electrifying athlete comes out of your program. Now you got a college a job offer, you know, and you hustle that into a head coaching job, and now you got a position offer in on the next level, and it's like that's how things actually happen. So I don't know. I kind of got off topic a little bit, but I feel like ultimately relationships, man, establishing
Nah, that was
relationships
great.
will benefit the children and the coaches and the program tremendously.
No, that was definitely spot on. And see, one of the reasons why, you know, me and Ryan have been talking about this for a minute. One of the reasons I say that is because we went to watch NYCDS versus Smithville last year to see who was going to go to the state, who was going to go play for a state championship. So of course, you know, you got to pay the little $10 fee or whatever to get in, because that's how they pay the refs, that's how they keep the lights on and all that good stuff. But what I didn't like was the fact that if you want to go watch it online, you got to pay that same $10 fee, which didn't make sense to me, because if I can remember correctly, from 2008 to a certain period of time, you was able to go turn it on TV for free.
Right.
Like I can remember watching. I can remember watching TV. You know, on it. It was. Go ahead.
Nah, I believe it. I was gonna say. I remember. I was gonna say the state games. I know for sure used to be on like ABC back in the day, but the playoff games I believe used to air on TV as well, though.
And it's like I feel like if you have athletes that are, you know, even the juniors, you know, it'll give some of these recruiters in these schools somebody to look at next year. And it's like if you have these athletes, especially athletes that go to the public schools, that you know they're the star players, they put up numbers, they wowing everybody every time somebody tune in. Why would you want to give these guys as much exposure as possible?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get me wrong.
Everything has to be about making money.
There you go. And it's like I get it. I know everything is, you know, streaming. That's what's being pushed. That's why they're releasing movies, the streaming services and stuff like that. But you know, it's not about y'all. It's about these kids. These kids in high schools. You know, for a lot of these kids in high schools, this is their only. You know, they're their first kid in their family to get the opportunity to go to college. They got the opportunity to rewrite the narrative, to break a generational curse. So, you know, why would you take that away from them? That's all. That's my whole point with this podcast.
Nah, I can dig
bringing
that
exposure to that.
I can dig that for sure.
Yeah. Now, the $1 million question, and this is what everybody's been wanting to know. For somebody like yourself, that did what you did in high school, put up the numbers that you put up. Why do you feel like you never got the opportunity to really prove it on at the next level, the NFL, or get the opportunity at a big program?
Ultimately, if I reflect as an adult and as a man, I would say the most honest answer I can give is my own personal focus. You know what I'm saying? That's that goes above and beyond anything else. You know, if I was focused and determined enough, I could have because I had the talent, to make it to that level and really ball. And I understood that the older I got, the more I understood and watched my peers. One of them I used to play against is Tom Brady's backup right now, still to this day. I watched the guys. What? Yeah, Blaine Gabbert, we used to play against him, beat the brakes off them guys in the Jamboree every year. But anyway, yeah, but yeah, man, like there were many obstacles and hurdles. But if I would have remained focused, and I could have had help for sure, staying focused and staying the course. That was ultimately the only thing that kept me from going to that next level. It was, too many. I allowed the things that was in my way to stay there. You know what I'm saying, and remain there instead of, being determined to move them.
Mm-hmm. I get that. And if you don't mind me asking, what were the things that were in your way, that you felt were in your way?
Outside of, I'll say, because I'm gonna just get to where we're trying to get to right quick. Because outside of, typical distractions, girls, peer pressure, running the streets with your boys, all this type of stuff. Our high school coaching staff got in everybody's way when it came to trying to make it to the next level and go to college and so on and so forth. It's if you play football for the high school we went to, everybody knows it's no secret. I mean, what I'm saying, like, those two gentlemen, Rick Shelton, Hoyt Gregory, and I got to be able to experience the transition between both of them, and some of the things that they
Yeah, because
did or didn't
he
do.
was the head coach.
It's because Coach Shelton was the head coach, and he was a particular type of jerk. I'll just say that. But Coach Gregory was kind of on another level with it, you know what I'm saying? And more so than anything, they didn't help. They definitely got in people's way. They would do things like, season over, you want to play basketball, that's your second sport. Well, if you play basketball and don't get in the weight room, he's not giving you all your interest letters that's coming. He's not giving you these offers letters that's coming. He's not giving these letters that's giving you invites to come visit their campus. And he would show other people. So he's showing us the Jayhawks logo on the envelope with such and such name on it. Like, yeah, he wanted to play basketball, so I'm gonna just hold on to this. That's Coach Gregory. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that Coach Shelton did something like that, but I can remember vividly sitting outside the front of the school, just chilling, waiting on the ride. After senior year, it's probably March or April. After football season, I ain't spoke to these folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do nothing for you no more. Walk past me in the hallway, don't even look at me. Say, give me a head nod. Coach Shelton started to walk past me, turned back and said, "Where are you going to school?" Kind of like he been asking me for days and weeks, and we've been going over this, and he been doing this and helping me. It's been going on, and I've been BSing. You just pop in my life. I had to pop in after I got done with you months ago. You have not been a part of the process with me at all. And I can say I feel like you was just as much as my head coach as Coach Gregory, because my freshman year, my sophomore year, you were my coach. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you should have been a part of the process just as much as anybody. Don't be jumping in my face talking about where are you going to school? You don't know because you're not involved. You know what I'm saying? And none of them were, other than the particular school that they wanted me to meet with, because they're buddies, and I guess they wanted to funnel athletes to their program, as a little buddy system or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact, like, I tell you, Western Kentucky, call my phone while I'm walking down the street. Lincoln got in contact with me through some of my friends that they were in contact with directly. Okay, both of these schools are telling me, hey, your coach said that he would give us film. We still haven't got it. We still haven't got it. We still haven't got it. So I say, yo, coach, the school's hitting me up trying to get the film. What's up? Oh, well, bring me a blank tape or something, and I'll record it all for you. Okay, bring them a blank tape. All right, I got you. A day will go by, a couple days go by, weekend, roll back Monday. Hey, coach, what's up with they're doing construction on the rock house, so that, it's locked in there. I can't get in there. But this is my life we're talking about. What you mean? Why are you being so careless? If that's the truth, if it was the truth, which I didn't believe it in the moment, and I still don't now. If that was the truth, why would you be playing with my life like that? Why aren't you no more serious about me going to the next level? Ain't that what this all about? You know what I'm saying? So if I got it wrong, and from my young perspective, it wasn't a conspiracy to stop us. It wasn't a conspiracy to impede our progress and trying to make it to the next level. They for damn sure weren't trying to help us. They was not, at least me. I can't speak for nobody else, and I won't, other than the things I witnessed directly, but they weren't trying to help me, figure it out. They wasn't standing by me side to side. Let's go through this process. Hey, on the phone, calling who they know for me, you know what I'm saying, sending my tapes off. They wasn't doing that for me, because if they were, I would have had a lot more real solid offers. You know what I'm saying? Instead of a bunch of chaos from people who interested and want me to, meet them halfway to see what they may offer me. But yeah, man, for sure those gentlemen, Hoyt Gregory in particular, because we might as well say whole governments if we're gonna put it all the way out there. Um, I mean, they were definitely in the way, and I'm so glad for their school and anybody that goes through there now that they not in the way no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who they got up there currently, but I'm thankful. Something that I beg the universe for many many moons. Like, yo, get these folks from around here so these boys can prosper. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you were. And I'm sorry, Ron. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. But
go, man. Let's go, bro.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. We trying to talk at the same time.
Would you say they did anything to try to help develop you, like, say like transitioning from like your sophomore to your junior, or from your freshman to your sophomore, or did they do anything like that, or they just be like, let's come to the weight room, let's come in the weight room?
Yeah, I often say it was nothing really new implemented by them that was like, yo, let's do this, yo, you know what I'm saying, let's do the. It was, you come to summer school weight training, and you run track in the springtime. You know what I'm saying? And when football season over, you come to weight room every day after school in the wintertime. And that was the routine. Now, things that I did on my own, I always had a unique way of preparing. You know what I'm saying? Since I was a little bitty kid, like, my stepfather, Carl Neal, told me when I was a little angry kid, go out there, put your helmet and shoulder pads out, hit those trees. So, you know what I'm saying? From hitting trees to teaching my dog how to stand on the opposite side of a line of scrimmage of me and then react when I react, so that I can stake my dog and learn how to read a defender and manipulate a defender to go one way so I can go another way. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I was doing in my backyard with my dog, you know what I'm saying, in the trees. You know what I'm saying? Stand, cutting body fat, throwing on plastic with all my football equipment on, riding my bike, you know what I'm saying, through my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Or riding my bike from home to football practice every day. So whatever it is that they were doing, which was the daily routine, I was always trying to find something on my own, you know what I'm saying, adapting from fellas like Walter Payton to, implement into my games to stay ahead of the game, give me that edge.
Well, I'm definitely glad you got to touch on that, because, like I said, we always got those people that's, damn, how come he ain't played after high school, and, how come he ain't playing in college? So, it's good that you get to tell your story, so it's it's nobody saying, oh, well, he just decided to do this, and he just decided to do that, and, I hate that shit happened to you, because like I said, I came to every home game. I couldn't go to the away games, but I came to every home game. And I got the opportunity to see you play, and that was one of the main reasons I wanted to get you to come on the podcast. Not necessarily to explain what happened. Of course, I wanted to give you the opportunity to explain your situation, but I wanted to give you your props and your respect as well. Because, like I said, coming into high school, I didn't. All I knew was you was a little short, stocky motherfucker. I didn't know you was that damn good at football. I didn't know you. I didn't know you was gonna go out there and do what you did. So I'm definitely glad that you get the opportunity to let people know what really went on, and I can't do nothing but salute you, bro. Like that's because what you dealt, all the shit you was dealing with, like off the field, and what you were able to go out there and produce, put up the numbers that you was able to put up. I think if there was a lot of kids, I feel if they would have had to deal with the same thing, I don't think they would have been able to handle it like you would.
Man, listen, bro. I can go through, what I'm saying, my freshman year, I only played, once I got into that one game, the next week was like my birthday or something like that, and my team played on my actual birthday, my freshman team that I actually got to play the whole game with. I'm going out there to dressing up to get on the bus to play with my freshman team, and it's a problem because I'm missing varsity practice, and now basically I'm off varsity. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It keeping me from adding to those 5 carries, 82 yards that they got me marked down at. You know what I'm saying? More type of stuff my sophomore year, even though I was the starter my sophomore year, the whole year, for the most part. My junior year, you know what I'm saying, more of the same. I can't remember what the situation was, but I was punished by not being able to play on offense after so many weeks just because that's what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So I got to play on special teams, even though I'm leading the team in rushing, but I can only play on special teams. If I'm playing at all, you might as well use me where I'm most effective. You know what I'm saying? Um, I can remember my junior year not starting me because the first game he didn't start me. I had a good game. He finally put me in. I had a good game. I rushed for over 100 yards, scored a couple times. So now I'm gonna keep not starting you. You know what I'm saying? These type of retarded things. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, I mean, just so many things like that to where it's just like unnecessary, you know what I'm saying, things to just hinder an athlete instead of supporting them. You know what I'm saying? I win STL today, athlete of the week. Before I even know, I'm at school all day long. Before I even know, oh, see, walking around with the big head, one athlete of the week again, huh? Well, damn, coach, thanks for letting me know. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be, oh, that's what's up. You won athlete of the week again. We won athlete of the week again. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be looking at the shit. You calling the plays and telling the motherfuckers to give me the ball, right? So, celebrate with me, coach. You know what I'm talking about? So, excuse my French on the podcast, but you know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro, you talk your shit, man. Talk your shit. You
for sure, but ultimately, you know what I'm saying? Like, perspective is everything, you know what I'm saying? And if you're looking at it wrong, you're going to experience it wrong, you know what I'm saying? And it was just so many different things, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I played my senior year, had the best season out of all those years you named. The last 2-3 games, I played with 2 cracked ribs. Finished the game, broke one rib in the first quarter, boom. Broke another rib in the fourth quarter, boom. But I finished the game 162 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Finished the season, score, you know what I'm saying? Rushed over 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that really, really upsets me about that year is I finished the season with the most touchdowns, most rushing touchdowns in the Suburban North. The person behind me had 10. I think I had 11. You know what I'm saying? Or 13 and 11 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But then Pattonville goes to the playoffs. They play 2 playoff games. They add dude's stats to it. So now he you looked on there. He the rushing leader for that season. When we finished them 10 games, I was the leader in touchdowns. You know what I'm saying, that year. But yeah, I just had to put that on there, check that box. But yeah, man. Ultimately, it was a few things. if I was to try to go through them all and list them all, it was a few things to where it was just unnecessary energy being involved, to where a lot of people, including myself, became discouraged to even play the game, to where, you know what I'm saying, going into the next level, like, low-key, I ain't want to accept some scholarship offers, even if you giving it to me, because I don't want to feel obligated to play football to have to be able to go to school, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I look back on it, it was like a really, I don't know, kind of messed up state of mind I was in, but it was like, that was my reality at the time. Like, I didn't want to take that obligation and feel obligated now and have that on my heart, like, man, I gotta play now, you know what I'm saying? When I wasn't sure if I wanted to play no more because of what I was experiencing dealing with them people in high school, you know? And yeah, man, I can imagine a slew of dudes went through the same exact thing, and either their passion wasn't as strong as mine, you know, their will wasn't as great as mine, or whatever the case, to where they conked out before they even made it through high school. You know what I'm saying? Didn't make it through sophomore, junior year. You know what I'm saying? But I did, and I was able to make it on to the next level. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't in the capacity that I was really capable of, and truly really had the opportunities to. But it is what it is.
now, at what point did you realize, like, I'm done with football? Like, I don't want to, I don't want to. I just, this ain't what I want to continue doing. And was it hard for you to hang up the cleats?
So my freshman year, I can remember like contemplating, like, You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, man, I really just wanted to be an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I knew that I wanted to own something. I wanted to have something. I wanted to sell something, like, to the point where it's like I ain't got to be working every day. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to work for nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I'm saying, projecting they insecurities on me all day, every day, 8 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, bro, I was contemplating, some opportunities that I had at the time in business and playing football, because I felt like I couldn't do both. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make music at the time, and I felt like I can do this music thing, you know what I'm saying, and partner up with my guys over here, and, you know what I'm saying, and figure out how we can build this thing and see if we can really make some money over here, or I can keep playing football, which I didn't put myself in the best situation ultimately, because I chose the school I went to for, reasons that I shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, even been considering. And I wasn't experiencing it in the way that I felt like I imagined, you know what I'm saying, and in a way that made me want to keep doing it. So ultimately, I was going to transfer from that school, which is crazy, because Lincoln had got a new coaching staff, and their new coaching staff was recruiting me to transfer. And I was going to transfer. And when I told my coaching staff I was going to transfer, things kind of went haywire for me at school, you know what I'm saying? And I got into a little situation. But ultimately did not transfer, you know what I'm saying, as a result of all that. But it was crazy, man, because, the politics of football are like, it'd be different faces, but the people be the same, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of these situations. And, the best programs are the ones that don't have those dudes, you know what I'm saying, don't have those people whose ego is running the program, you know what I'm saying, whose prejudice is running the program, whose bias is running the program, you know what I'm saying. So, I like I said, didn't put myself in the greatest situation, you know what I'm saying, far as where I ultimately went. So, you know what I'm saying, that kind of aided in my discouragement of wanting to play further. But once I wasn't able to transfer, it was kind of like I got to go to school for another semester to get my GPA back up, because, you know what I'm saying, I had to drop a class or two and this type of thing. And after I did that, it was kind of like, man, listen, I ain't got time, you know what I'm saying. Now I'm trying to hold down jobs and, do real world stuff at this point, you know what I'm saying. And I ultimately, like, honestly, I never said in my mind, like, I said I retired, but I never was like, I'm done, you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about, like, in my heart, I'm still a baller, you know what I'm saying. I ultimately never let it go. I've never let go of the competitor in me, you know what I'm saying. So shit, hell, I fuck around and get in shape and be on somebody's semi-pro team next spring, dog. You know what I'm saying? Which is something I haven't done since I stopped playing football, but you never know, you know what I'm saying, depending on how I might feel come that year. Hey, I'm in shape. I'm in shape right on time. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let me take a stab at it. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I ain't never said, you know what, I'm done. That's behind me. You know what I'm saying? It's behind me because it was a long time ago, but it might be in front of me too, depending on how I'm feeling, like I said.
And I'm sure it's a couple semi-pro teams that'll love to have you, especially, it's a lot of guys that that I went to high school with, and that, that was on Ryan's team. They still play, these days. So, you could, I know somebody will love to have you. That's all. That's all I say about that.
For sure.
All right, man. I'm not gonna take up too much more of your time. Last question I got for you is, for all the guys that's about to either go through the recruiting process or that's currently going through the recruiting process, what advice would you give to those guys?
Oh man, I would say initially focus on your craft, man. Like, as long as you are dedicated and focus on, like, being great, like being in shape, you know what I'm saying, before you get into the season, being in the weight room, you know what I'm saying, being serious about your diet and the things that you put in your body. That's the biggest thing, because that's going to reflect into your performance. And when your performance is top tier, that takes away 95% of the worries, you know what I'm saying. After that, I feel like the same goes for the way things are set up with social media. You can throw a video up, go viral, and get a scholarship because of it. So if you can use your footage via social media, manipulate that footage. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a product, and you got to think of yourself as a product. Just like B said, you got to sell yourself, You know what I'm saying? You do in a sense, because as a potential player, as a potential student athlete that they are going to give money to, you are something that they're trying to monetize and get a return on that investment. So you got to think of yourself as a product, you know what I'm saying? And you got to formulate your brand and deliver it in a way that looks like a production. If you can do that via social media while actually having the talent and skill and the readiness to back it up, man, listen, you can go far in this day and age, and you can do it in a lot easier avenue than us guys before the social media era. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you do that, and don't be scared to reach out to these schools, man. Like college questionnaires, athletic questionnaires, you can literally go to these school sites and fill out a profile about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, contact these schools, look up the universities, coaching staff, the athletic department, look up the email of the athletic directors, look up the email to the coaching staff, the email to anybody you can get on that coaching staff, dude. If you've been a diehard Ohio State fan all your life and they not recruiting you because they ain't never heard of you and ain't got no reason to, man, listen, go on their website, find their coach's contact information, and reach out to them people. You never know what happens, bro.
I definitely appreciate all that, man. Yeah, that's real. And I'm sure, I'm sure it's a lot of students that most of the shit, like I never knew that you could go to a college website and fill out a questionnaire just to have a profile about yourself. I never knew that. So that's definitely useful information.
I may be out of touch, and it's been a while since I was doing things of that nature, but for sure you can fill out athletic questionnaires for as far as my understanding still to this day, and insert your profile into these programs so you'll be in their pool. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely we definitely appreciate you dropping that knowledge, because I'm sure it's a lot of guys that need to hear that.
For sure.
No, hell, I personally have little cousins and stuff that's either they in high school, and within the next few years they're probably going to go through the recruiting process. So it's definitely good to have somebody that's gone through that whole spiel or whatever to. I can't even come up with to get that knowledge back, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, listen, bro, get your footage, chop it up, bro. Trust me, I did it myself. You hear me?
Definitely. Now, before we get out of here, I know what you're gonna say, but I know what you're gonna say. But he already prepared. But I know what you're gonna say. Now, who is your pick to go to the Super Bowl this year? I know this answer already, but who you picking?
Okay, let me think. Who am I picking to go to the Super Bowl? I'm gonna say out of everybody to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, listen, I'm not even gonna mention the Rams. Of course, we're going back. I'm thinking of the AFC team. I'm trying to think of the AFC team that's gonna be there to meet us. You know what I'm saying? So let me think. Who's gonna
Kansas City?
That's too easy though, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's probably gonna be one of them, man. It's probably gonna be one of them. It's probably gonna be Buffalo.
I don't think Cincinnati gonna be as good.
Nah. Everybody else, as long as everybody else stay healthy, Cincinnati can't compete with them other guys like that.
No, I've been saying that, like
We'll see.
Say what you want, and I know a lot of people are going to attack me for this because, we have a lot of bandwagon fans, but don't expect Cincinnati to have the same year that they did last year.
Nigga, you the bandwagon fan. You got like 80 teams.
Fuck
nigga.
you, man. I'm a Steelers and Rams fan before anything else, so you take that and do what you want with it.
He gonna pop up with a fucking Tennessee Titans shirt. Man.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Ever since Steve McNair.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. And I mean, why would I pop up a Tennessee fan when we beat them in 2000? So
Right.
I have no reason to be, and I don't like the head coach that we picked up from them. So fuck Tennessee.
Look, speaking of that 2000s Super Bowl we won, I've been thinking since I got this joint. You know what I'm saying? Team just sent me this. You know what I'm saying? Look, hey, they know die hard. So I'm like, man, I need to get one from the 2000. You hear me? Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But that's my bad. Oh,
you good, bro? You good?
Super Bowl. That's when they were in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, they still the St. Louis Saint Lula. That's that L. That's what that. That's that LA. That's what that Saint
Louis.
Yeah, Saint Lala round.
St. Louis.
Hey man, you just give me a reason to go on vacation at least once a year for sure. You know what I'm talking about? So
for sure.
And SoFi Stadium is amazing. If you haven't been, you should go. You know what I'm saying? Actually, they built it into the ring. If you didn't know that, you know, it actually comes apart. You can see inside the stadium. But we ain't gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying?
We appreciate the little preview for those of us that don't have one.
For sure. You know what I'm saying?
Rams fans.
Shout out to the Rams.
So go ahead, man. Talk to the. Yeah, most definitely. Go ahead, man. Talk to the people. You know, let them know what you're doing these days. Life after football.
Man, currently raising babies. You know, got little people that you know, I'm trying to instill the best things that I know into. I currently, you know, have a streaming service that if you guys want some low cost and easy going TV, you know, sports fans, pay-per-view events, things of that nature, you know, contact your boy. You know, that's pretty much what occupies the majority of my time, you know, these days. But otherwise, other than being a businessman, I'm a full-time dad, man, full-time pops.
A hell of a dad too at that. Hell of a dad too at that.
Appreciate it. New first rookie. I'm gonna call myself a rookie soccer dad. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a rookie soccer dad. I'm learning about the game as we speak.
The other football.
Right.
Across the water, across on the other side of the continent.
Football.
That's what they call it.
Football. Go.
Hey, look, we be out there going
But
crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
I know you do, especially with your competitive ass, man.
And I don't even be expecting. I don't even be expecting to be jumping out my chair, yelling and screaming, but it be happening. I'll be like, oh, okay.
I can see it. Yeah, I can definitely vouch though, man. I would if y'all looking for a cheap streaming service, definitely tap in. Get with Derrick if you can. Get DVTV now.com or message Derrick DV Valley. Well, I don't know if you'll be putting your full government out there.
Good.
But yeah, if y'all if you're looking for a cheap streaming service, definitely get DVTV now. You can find that page on Facebook, or like I said, you can contact Derrick directly if necessary. If you're too confused as to what's going on whenever you get to the damn page.
Right.
But yeah, that's gonna be a wrap for this episode, man. Derrick, once again, thank you for tuning in. We definitely appreciate the time you dropping in, giving us all the knowledge, and I definitely think it's a few guys that can take this and run with it, man.
All right, no doubt, man. I appreciate you fellas for having me on, man.
No problem.
Appreciate you again, man.
Yep, there's been another episode of Pigskin Posse Podcast. Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe, like, comment. You can find this podcast only on YouTube. I'm still working on getting the audio to upload to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that. But in the meantime, make sure y'all go check out the group podcast, Taking Shots with Tim, Breland, and Ryan. You can find us Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from, man. Yes, sir.
Football.